I was just saying, Bana, with self confidence, it's very much you have to understand that also. You have to understand that you're not going to be perfect at everything. There's
Yeah,
hierarchies that have to happen. Yeah, well, there's just
yeah,
some guys that are going to get more girls. There's just certain guys that are going to be better at sport. There's going to be
yeah,
certain girls that are more good looking. There's going to be certain girls that are more attractive. Everyone is just going to be everywhere. Some people might be higher in certain places
mm,
consistently. Other people might be lower in certain places consistently. So
mm,
you need to understand that what you want, as long as you can practice it, you can improve within yourself, not
mm,
within the society, within yourself. That now you're
yeah,
going from one place to the next, one place to the next, and
yeah,
that's it. So we're not saying, man, you're gonna wake up one day and then talk to one chick and then find that you get a girlfriend and then you think, oh, you know what? Now I'm gonna be the world's biggest player, or I'm not gonna be scared of girls. It's not
yeah,
gonna happen that way. It might not happen
nah,
that way. Even with sport, you go and you make it in basketball. In under
yeah,
13, you make it in whatever it is in football in under
yeah,
13. When you get to under 16, under 17, you're not as good as you were. Yeah. Well, so
yeah,
again, you have to prepare for failure. You have to prepare for not making what you wanted to do, and find that then those are the guys that stay, the ones that are that get broken off, that don't want to let go, but know what to do to get back
yeah,
on. Those are the ones that stay.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's just one way of kind of dealing with self confidence. Yeah, well, deal with it
yeah,
in a don't let the self confidence overpower me. It's the fight between me and the self confidence, not the situation. Me and the self
yeah,
confidence. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. If I make one bad pass, that doesn't mean I'm gonna have a terrible match.
yeah,
Let me focus on the one good pass that I make. Then I say, okay, let me do more of that, more of that, more of that. Then before you know it, you're like,
yeah,
actually, man, I had a decent game. And even if you do think that you had a bad game, look at the positives. Look at the things that you were able to then get out of it. Then you
mm,
say, okay, I'm going to do more of that next match. And then because you
yeah,
then build self-confidence, again, like I say, it becomes something that is going to be very much like a well-rounded you. It's not going to just
yeah,
be and that then even at work when you're going through certain things, you look at the positives. Where the
yeah,
positives? Let me not feed the negatives. A boy
yeah,
might have said to me, the art of knowing is knowing what to ignore,
yeah,
right?
yeah, true, true, yeah,
And that's
yeah,
that's
like,
what.
mhm.
Yeah.
No, I think another thing is about like if we compare ourselves to other people and then ngaleyo ndlela leyo asikwazi ukuba confident ngani ngoba ngithi mhlawumbe you comparing yourself with umuntu ovele successful,
Different way,
like
different way,
exactly
but
okudlula le kude, you understand. So if you start comparing yourself with that person, then awuzoba na-confidence to do whatever it is that you want to do, yabo. So
sounds
yeah, I'd say mhm,
it sounds so cliche, but it's legit the truth. You find it as you grow older, you find that what, like I might because you find a lot of the time, like I might think that, oh my gosh, like, you getting the goals or you getting the jobs and you're getting the money and you're getting the gigs, right? And I
yeah,
want that, right? But you're never gonna tell me the negatives that come with that, right? And
yeah,
then as soon as I then start fighting, 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 starting to get the gigs, you say to me, you know what? You want the gigs, take them. If you want the money,
yeah,
take it. Then I come and I get the money and I get everything. And the first thing that happens is then your friends, you don't know them anymore because then they're like, how do I have so many friends now all of a sudden? It's because now you
yeah,
have more money. Now you don't know who your friends are and who your friends aren't. You don't know who your family members are and who your family members aren't. And then you find
mm,
that all the negative things that keep coming or they keep happening to you, you don't know now all of a sudden, hey, I thought this was all gloom. I thought celebrity life was all glamorous. And it's like, no,
yeah,
you can still get sick. You can still get cancer. You can still get
yeah,
depression. You can still get anxiety. And you probably find that you get it even more because now you become you come under a microscope. You find Justin Bieber,
yeah,
all these people that, especially when they're young, they just don't know what to do with it, and then they just spiral down, and then you're in the tabloid and stuff, and people forget that you need to be a teenager, but now you can't because you chase, or not that he chased fame, but
mhm,
it's something that you find that with being in a certain situation with comparing yourself to other people,
Mm.
you don't become a better person. You
Nah,
then
nah.
you only become that person, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
bro.
it's like I said earlier on ukuthi it's very important ukuthi uyithole njengomuntu ukuthi ukuphi and ubani, you know, just find yourself and then
You
usebenze from lapho. You understand?
evaluate yourself. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. Yabo.
It happens with males and females. You find that a lot. Again, even with females, you find that a lot of them. One person will have a child, and then they compare themselves with someone else that has a child, and then it's but my child goes to this school, but then my child doesn't go to that school. And it's like, so what, bro? Like, be
Yeah,
the best parent that you can be. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because then you're
yeah.
gonna compare yourself to that child, and then let's say then your child then goes to a fancy school. Then after that, what are you gonna do? You're gonna compare them to Beyonce's child, and then after
Exactly.
Beyonce's child, it's like, when is it gonna stop? Like, when are you gonna start
Uh,
what you have as being your goal? Someone that
yeah.
you can have a conversation with and talk to and converse with, and you can walk out and look at the positives, look at all the things
Mm,
that you can do with your child that someone else can't do. The
mm,
positive
mm, mm,
things that
mm,
they can connect with you like this. They can go and be something and then come back to you and say, you know what, mom or dad or uncle
mm,
or father, or whoever, I'm proud of you and I'm happy that instead of it the other way around all the time, them telling you, you tell them I'm proud of you for growing me up to letting me be who I am today. You
mm,
know, and
mm,
that's
mm.
more powerful than anything. That's more powerful than that's why
Yeah,
we want to raise kids. We want to raise kids for them to kind of reciprocate and
yeah.
be who they are because it's genuinely how we want them to feel. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to our earlier conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Ukuthi i-upbringing yethu and abazali bethu indlela abayiyona asikhula with ama-ideologies abo and their perceptions and it's-influence yileyo nto kakhulu even when isikhathi sifika sokuthi and boys umuntu omdala like you need to take your own decisions uqala manje ubuthi okay my mom ungiraise ngale ndlela or my dad ungiraise ngale ndlela le so whatever it is we decide based on ama-ideologies abo you understand. So when as umuntu okakayitholi as umuntu, which is why even i-confidence yakho uthi ayikho high, yabo.
Mm. Yeah.
So kubalulekile ukuyithola as umuntu,
Mm.
yabo.
That's
So
true.
that raises your confidence, yeah.
Yeah. Like faith, like yo, confident. You miss conversations like this, or again, they're so inspiring, man. Like, like you can have a conversation like this and then you feel like I can do anything. You're
Yeah.
so much more productive. You feel like that you evaluate things more. You stop blaming things. You stop
Yeah.
making excuses. You start doing things and you kind of you focus more, right?
Yeah.
But then you always also got to understand that it's like food. It's like it's you need to keep having it. You need to
Mm.
keep educating yourself. You need to keep going at it. You need to keep pushing. And there will be times where it's hard. There will be
Yeah.
times you can't eat because you have a stomach ulcer or you're tired or you're full.
Mm.
But then you're gonna feel, okay, well then what else can I do now? I need to keep going. I need to keep going. What can I do? You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think a lot of this stuff again, for me, even having conversations like this on the daily, my days have changed.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
actually now I feel so much more powerful. I'm doing more things. And you find that
Yeah.
with the exact same amount of time, right, I could do less easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I would
Mm-hmm.
think that, you know what, that is enough. That's as much as I can do. But then you
Mm.
have conversations like this that take up so much of your time, but then they're so inspiring that with less time, you actually do more things because now you're more focused. You know what to
Mm.
do, when to do it, how to do it, and
Yeah.
then you find that the time that you used before, the time that you thought you didn't have, is because you always put it in negative things. You always looked at
True.
things you didn't need to look at.
True.
See,
True.
now
True.
when you get to positions like this and situations like this where your mind is just it's already it already does calculations for you where it says no, that's negative, leave it. Yep, that's positive, go there. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't actually pay attention to the negative stuff there. You only then kind of look at the positive. You know the negatives
Mm.
there, but you don't pay much attention to it, and then you become
Yeah.
efficient. You know,
Yeah. True.
I
True.
was asking myself, like people like Bill Gates and Elon Musk and all these people that kind of, you have the same hours. They sleep 8 hours. They have
Mm-hmm.
24 hours a day. How do they accomplish so much? They just
Mm.
focus on what's important. But how do
Yeah.
they
I
do it?
mean,
They train themselves to do that. They train
yeah. Into
themselves.
balulekile leyo. Mm.
Yeah, they train
Yeah.
themselves
Into
to
balulekile.
important, that's important. I want to do that because that's going to help and that's going to achieve what I want to achieve. So I have a goal in mind. I've already said it. That's what I want to do. I do that. And then if you're not as confident or you're not as trained and well or trained by yourself and surrounding yourself with positive things, you find that then when you get into situations like that, you always look at the negative and then you evaluate, is it really a negative? Is it really a positive? Time's going that time. And you find that this positive that you actually should have put a lot of attention to, you kind of then it disappears. And then by the time you make a decision, you only have a decision to make with negative stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to become a better version of yourself, we think focus on any positive, and if even the people you keep around you as well. If they are loyal corner, why do you keep them?
Yeah.
So kubalulekile to keep the people abaya loyal corner. You know, if let's say ufuna to increase your confidence, then thola abantu abakwazi ukwenza izinto zenzeke, and then ufunde kubona, keep them in your circle.
Yeah,
you know,
bro. Yeah.
Abantu abanezinto negative, why do you keep them in your circle if wena ungafuni ukuyela abaya khona?
Yeah.
So isifana kumele siyibuke zabantu abasha yabo.
Yeah, fit. And it's even yesterday about the fact that when you don't have a direction, then you find that it's easy to go to things that you don't need to go to. Yeah. Because then it's like, okay, if you're gonna study for a test tomorrow, why would you then go out to have a party instead of studying, right? It's because you find that it's because that is a bit more attractive than studying, right? But then it's like, okay, cool. If you had a goal to say, I want to study today to then get or to pass, you look at that goal, you look at the party, it's simple. No, you have to go there to study. So you find that then because you evaluated yourself and what you want to do, then you make better decisions. But when you don't do that, then you can kind of, I don't know really, I want to pass, I don't know what to do. Then you just go with whatever's attractive.
Yeah, I mean, as a moment, if like more goals, you focus on your goals, work on your goals, because you can never achieve your goals if you don't work on them. You know, you have to work on your goals, make sure good, and we allow my goals now, even mentally. About the direction there. So Shinchala, upstairs.
Yeah.
If you change that, you're never gonna change.
Never gonna change, bro. Never.
You're never gonna change.
And then what happens, especially as males as well, you know, we don't really have a direction in life. We can be 40 years old but still be 12 years old. We can be 50 years old still be 15 years old. So there has to be something that you let go of, but then you can choose what that thing is gonna be. So you can choose that, you know what, I want to then start a family. Okay, well then what do I need to do to start a family? What kind of family do I want? How do I want my kids to grow up? How do I want my wife or girlfriend to grow up? Or you say, you know what, I don't want to have a family. I want to have a career. Okay, then what kind of career do you want? Do you think about why do you want to? Ask yourself all those questions. And then once you've answered all of that, everything in your life will go geared towards a goal. Then you find that if you don't have a goal, and then you go to things that you don't really aren't sure about, then you find that you make people angry. You make people more sensitive, and then you find that you get backlash from that, and then people call you're trash, or you know what, you have no backbone, or you're a deadbeat, and you're this, you're that, and then all you can say is, I'm trying to find myself. It's like, then be in yourself and find yourself within yourself. It's like it should be that simple. Why are you finding yourself there? Like, why?
You cannot.
Exactly. And then you find that, okay, it's like a checklist. Okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. Let me go and check. No, I don't want that. Okay, no, this is what I want. You check. Now, where's that road going through there? And then you just keep going. And before you know it, again, like people that are negative or people that are not on that same wavelength at that time cut themselves off. And then they need to make a decision. But actually, do I want to go that route or not? And then that's their fight. And then you're not saying, no, look, you're not saying to them, you can't come through. You're just saying, well, you want to come? Be ready, because I'm walking. I'm leaving, I'm going. Are you going to come or not? If you're not going to come, cool. The door's open for you when you're ready. So you don't have to follow. It's the same with friends. Same how we're kind of, became friends as well. It's like, no, the door's open, but are you willing to come through? And when I come through, are you going to lead? Are you going to come with me? Or are we going to be together? Right? Yeah. And it's simple. And it's like, no, the boys can come through as well if they want to come through. The girls can come through if they want to come through. But if you don't, then cool, fine. We'll meet somewhere, somehow, or never.
Yeah, and you know, like ngifuna ukuthi some people are afraid to lose friends.
Yeah.
Yabo. And it's like in this short you can never keep umuntu ongaloya khona. Ngisho
No.
kuthiwa lo muntu uyi-best friend, you know. You shouldn't be afraid to lose friends if ufuna ukuya phambili and umngane wakho akayi phambili uya kwenye indawo. You understand? So yeah, I think enye into eyenza sibe ne-fear ekwenzeni izinto as a-youth ilento efana nokuthi I'm so scared to lose people empilweni, to lose friends. And you are so dependent kuma-friendships angakuyisa indawo. You know, instead of working on yourself and then ubheka ukuthi into eyifunayo as ama-goals akho njengomuntu, because mfethu siyakhula ebozizona iy'ngane, you know, and as ukhula ingwenza izinto enomqondo, you understand? So you can never keep i-circle eyodwa ejika la eduzane, you understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean we shouldn't be afraid to lose people, you know. I-lesson leyo abantu onabo i-circle yakho, funda iy'fundo kubona. If bengaloya khona, do not be afraid to lose them. If
And also,
ubaluze uvulela abanye aba-right abazoza kwi-circle yakho lofuna ukuba nayo. So
yes,
yeah.
yes. You find a lot of sacrifices that you make, a lot of tough decisions that you have to make. They often are the birth of better decisions. But you need
Yes.
to have that bad sacrifice that makes you feel really bad and really down, so that when you get something that's going to be absolutely amazing, you know that it's there. And then if that thing also kind of starts off as amazing, and then you learn more about yourself, and then you become again someone that's on a different level, then you're willing to say, hey, bro, I know you were great when I came here, but now this I'm on a different wavelength now. Are you going to rise with me, or are you going to stay here? And then they need to make a decision, and then when you lose them, or when they cut themselves off, then hard for you again, and you know that it's hard, but then you've learned that, okay, with every negative thing, you need to look positive, and then you find that the next thing that comes is something even better, you know? If you find that never happens, then you need to say, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the person that keeps getting cut off. Because every time that I lose someone, I go to someone else, and then I lose that person, and then it's like, I lose that person. Maybe I'm the one here that's getting thrown off. You know, I'm the leech, I'm the bad person, because then they just keep throwing me off to other bad people or to other negative things. Why can't I find positive things? And then you find that, oh, maybe it's because I need to find it in myself first. And once I found it in myself first, then I'll be attracted to good things. If I don't find it in myself, I'm attracting everything towards me.
Ibalulekile self-introspection. And you know, like I like to quote iBhayibheli kule ndaba le. You know, like Paul, Paul was of a Jewish faith, yabo. So Paul was against Christian faith, yabo, le nto kaJesu nama-ideologies akhe, to a point where Paul persecutes the Christian church, yabo. And if usibheka history sabo ne uthola ukuthi uPaul wayekholwa naye, ekholwa uNkulunkulu naye, and abantu bayibiza amaKristu bakholwa futhi nabo uNkulunkulu, but ngenxa yokuthi ama-ideologies kaJesu nomthetho kaMose kuyashayisana somewhere, sibayaxabana, you understand? But uhamba uPaul converted to Christianity, wayepersecute abazalwane, converted to in Christianity. So like I want to say, uma seconvertile base befuna ukumbulala these people ayihamba nabo, you know. So my point here is you shouldn't be afraid to lose abantu bona ukuthi abayiloya khona, you know, and you should always follow into right, you understand? Ngani ngoba if ubuka uPaul persecute ibandla on the way to Damascus, wahlangana noJesu, wathola into right according to the Bible, so into right wayiyeka le bhedayo. And it was not like even afraid to wear a leopard, and what's in a picture against you, you understand? So it point lamlets, and do not be afraid to lose friends. If they're better, ubathanda batshela ukuthi bayabheda, preach bonus guys in your better shinchen. But if bengafuni, just leave them, and then because if you lose umngane uthola omunye right. But it's like at the same time, you shouldn't be dependent on people. Evaluate but do not be dependent on my friendships, because my friendships reach goal, you understand? So it's all good to and then work on your goals, and then you're gonna get to where you wanna be. So simple.
Yeah, boy. Nah, man, I think, yeah. The nice thing about conversations like this is that, you think that you will be speaking to your little brother or your little sister or your cousins
Yeah.
or, the young youth, but in fact, you're probably speaking to your dad, your mom, your grandfather,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because they're like, actually, hey, man, I also need to know this. What's going on? You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how powerful I think it's become. It's one of those things where, you have these conversations, you let people just, and you make it clear, listen, bro, this is not about what I'm trying to get at. It's not about what whoever I'm trying to talk to is trying to get at. I'm just trying to then change your life. If you want
Yeah.
to use this platform to then
Yeah.
express yourself, then so be it. It's free of charge. Come in,
Yeah.
have your bars, have your say, put the mic down, and then you're gone. And then boom, you've inspired a nation, or you inspired something. And if you say something that is not right or that is not negative, you say, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That is not positive, then you say, okay, cool. Then people will then say, hey man, maybe you should look at it this way. And then boom, you've inspired yourself. So
Yeah.
either way, you still win. Either
Yeah.
way, you have grown,
Yeah.
because you're not fearful. Because
Yes.
you are fearful, but you fear either drives you or defeats you.
Mm.
And you say, you know what, actually I'm gonna do this. If I get caned for it, and if I get slaughtered for it, I'm big enough to say, you know what, actually, maybe I was wrong. Well, then I can be right now today, and now
Mm.
tomorrow you wake up a wiser person. But if you're afraid of it, then you'll always be non-wise, you know.
True.
It's like,
True.
well, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
get out there, express yourself to the world, open up your heart, and then they'll say, nah, there's something wrong with
Yeah.
your carver here, something wrong with your pleura here. And you say, oh, I thought they were perfect. But if you say that, cool, I trust you, fix it, and then it's fine. Before you know it, now you're healthy. It's like, actually, I feel so much better. But I had to find what I wanted, where I at least wanted to look.
Yeah, qinisile mfethu. Kubalulekile ukukhuluma. The only way you can defeat fear ukuthi uyiface fear. Wenze lento fear engafuni ukuthi uyenze, then we defeat fear ngaleyo ndlela. Because
And
like ngathini,
that's
there are so many, yeah, there are so many topics ngathini nawe kwi-platform yakho ongakawathinti yet. For instance, yabona izinto ezenza kwi-countries right now, GBV, human trafficking, ama-cash heist. We need to talk about into ey'fana nalezo as abantu bakule country, and as i-youth ukuthi i-country ziyibeka kusiphi isithombe into ey'fana nalezo, and ziyisa kuphi i-country into ey'fana nalezo. And the corruption as well, politics, yabo, ama-MP ethu, yabo, too corrupt. We need to touch into ey'fana nalezo futhi as well. Ngoba angithi as abantu abasha thina sibuka kubona, so ikuphi esikufundayo kubona.
And the thing also is, as well, we have to, again, like I said in my first video that I've ever did, that it's not about trying to polarize. It's about trying to find where the poles are and then bring them closer together and then work out the topic to find solution. Not to try and be, opposing, and that's when the conflict starts. I mean, it's just too much time wasted when you do that,
Yeah, and into efana le ayisithi futhi phambili yabo, ithule into efana le, because if addressa into ngithi sikuyibona inkinga, and then akusiza ukukhuluma ngenkinga kuphela, but mawubona inkinga, come up with a solution, then you solve inkinga lapho. It's like maths. It's like mathematics. It's like mathematics. You see a problem, you solve it.
Yeah, and once you find that then solution is not even just for this.
Yes.
The solution is for so many other things, especially when it's a complex solution. You find that actually this, you know what, this is Newton's law. This actually accounts for the whole universe, not even just the universe, for the planets. And you find that, okay, then when we get to other galaxies, now we need to find another law. But as soon as we find that, then that's why it's difficult to find, because it's going to unlock so many other things,
Yeah. And it's always, and even there are more than one ways to the solution. But if isipalo solve usibona, then you're not gonna even know what's in it. There's actually so many ways to the solution. So if like you see a maths problem, for instance, and then we then decide not to solve it, we find out it's okay, as in there's actually an easy way to solve, and then there's a difficult way to solve, or there's a long way to solve. For you, a long way is difficult, yabo.
Mm.
Mhlawumbe for some other people, a long way is easy to solve, yabo. But ipoint lami ukuthi if inkinga uyibona, it doesn't help to talk ngenkinga. What helps is to bring a solution to inkinga.
Yeah, yeah,
Yabo.
that's
So
true.
yeah,
But you need to know what the problem is. Yeah,
yes, yes,
that's
yes.
true, man. Yeah, man. Just to wrap this up as well, like, yeah, yeah. Thanks for that, boy. Like, always,
Yeah.
always a pleasure learning from you all the time.
Oh,
Um,
yes, yes.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly. You know, sometimes when you surround yourself with positive people like this, you learn something and then you think that's the most you'll learn. Then you have another
yeah,
conversation. You're like, oh, another one. What's going on, bro? Yeah, well, and then every time you're like,
yeah,
actually, oh, this is the type of stuff that you need to keep waking you up. You need to keep waking me up. We need to keep waking each other up. You know,
yeah,
and there's so much. And this is what you find is that you do that, you do that, you do that, and then someone else is sitting on the sideline and they say, hey, can I join you guys? Then you're like,
yeah,
yeah, bro, come through. And then all of a sudden, now he's also part of the positivity, or she is. And then you find
yeah,
that someone else is watching that, and they say, hey, can I join you guys? And then it's just a positive clump, you know. And then it's
yeah,
just, then it's a less negative outside, because then there's just more
mm,
positive inside. And then the positive gets so much that it then goes outside, and then there's less negative. Then you find that
yeah,
then that actually changes your own self, and it changes the future, and it changes the chances are it won't change the past, but it'll change the future because then the kids then grow up to be different, you know, and then they grow
yeah,
up to be a bit more open and a bit more because then you were able to touch them, you know, and you were able to tell them things or situations whereby they're like, actually, now I don't need to make those same mistakes. I can do this. Then they build their self confidence through that way, you know, and
yeah,
they build a way to live through that way instead of saying, oh no, you became your father, or oh no, you became your mother. It's like, no,
mm,
my mother told me how she became and how I should not become, you know.
yeah,
Now I can learn from that, and I took that from her, and I'm going to teach the next person to do that. There's no point
mm,
in just going around in a spiral. I hate you because my granddad hates you, or I hate you because my
yeah,
mom hates you. It's like, nah, man,
yeah.
it work like that. Because
That
then I
doesn't
hate
help you.
doesn't
It
help
doesn't help you.
the next person, and then it's not going to help everyone else. And then negative
Yeah,
news spreads, and negative things spreads, and then before you know it, it's like a gangsterism mentality where we are
yeah,
fighting, and then I say, hey, go fight this person, and one of them gets killed, and then now we're just killing each other. We don't even know when this whole thing started, and then no one
yeah,
knows. Hey, what's going? Why are we fighting? Hey, man, I don't know, but these people killed my people, and this person killed my person,
you
and
know,
that's literally what happens. And then you find that maybe you guys are more powerful together than you are separate. If you band
exactly,
together, you
exactly.
find a solution, you find all your negative things and everything that you hate about each other, and you speak about it, and you try to go through it, and you understand that it's never gonna be even. Let's stick together and try to get everyone to benefit from this. And then it's
And
like,
you know, I believe this is how we lost the land to white people as well. We
mm,
focused on fighting each other, then
yeah,
fi
bro,
fighting together to,
yeah,
win our battles against them. But since focus and since I hate you, and then I'm gonna just shoot you or whatever. And then ngaleyo ndlela, as we fight each other, abelungu bayalidliza ngaleyo ndlela. You understand? Because we
yeah,
are too
bro,
focused into a negative. Engabe thina as a nation siyazibuilda, then
yeah,
sithola izwe lethu. You understand? So yeah, I think the more siyifida ngento negative, it's the more even if future is about more blood. You understand?
mm-hmm.
I way forward. It's
And
like
then
this. It's like this generation. Generation good at taking his into in, and we don't even question them.
no,
It's like esikoleni izinto esiyifundayo sisafunda ngo-Newton even namanje at this
mm-hmm.
age. Newton's laws or Dalton, bapha abantu like oMpemba for instance, lithi yazi Mpemba effects kwi-physics. Why sisafunde ngabantu abafana nalabo, you know? Ingoba generation yethu good at taking izinto in, and we don't even question izinto esiyitshelwayo. You just take izinto and then wenza the way utshelwa ngakhona. You don't question even if it's wrong or question, so we are a messed up generation. So if we don't change those mentalities, ifuture vele ayizoshintsha futhi,
bro.
so yeah.
Imagine, bro, like, imagine, like, at schools, for instance, there's certain things that they teach you at school that when you grow up, you're like, oh no, that doesn't
Yeah.
sound right. You know.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you had, like, say for instance, say if they teach you at school in history about the fact that, say, the settlers came to South Africa and then they fought the Zulus and then, or the Zulu
Yeah.
and then Guna tribes, right? And Jan van Riebeeck was a hero. He founded this, and this person, Cecil John Rhodes, founded this, maybe, right? They teach you it, and it's obviously the people that wrote the books or the people that were generally are going to make themselves as being the heroes and being the positive
Yeah.
guys. And imagine that then while they're teaching this, even say today, right? And they listen to a snippet of this video about, actually ask your teacher about what about the Zulu people that were there to begin with, or the Xhosa people who were there to begin with, or the Nguni or the Khoisan. Like, what happened to them? Why are they fighting them? What was the fight about? How are you coming to someone's place, area, or home and fighting with them? You know, ask those pertinent questions that then you find that, oh, actually, maybe you're wrong. Maybe you find that the history that you're telling is wrong, but you need to find out about why is it all one-sided? Why is it not teach us about this, teach us about that? You know, even with the Hitler stories and the Stalin stories, it's like, okay, cool, but what happened with the other stuff? Like, was it really just Jews and Germans? If it was, like, can you explain more? Like, I'm surely there's a lot more past every story, you know. And once you get a picture, then you can kind of say, oh, okay, now I see. This is like this, is like that. But this whole thing of, like, you get taught when you're young, and then this way is this way, then you grow up, and then it's like, actually no. So this whole time I've been hating a certain group or certain type of people because I've been taught a certain way by certain other people is not the way, you know. But now you build up some anger or resentment that you find that it's difficult for you to let go of that, you know. And then how are you going to get your confidence back? You know what I mean? How are you going to?
And you know, like, even the church has influence sibethi nabantu who just take izinto in and don't, because abomfundisi and Shumaila, for instance, we listen to the pastor even if into wrong as so we become conditioned and we listen, we take in, we don't question ever, because the church will never tell you that Jesus is black. Actually, it's a blasphemy motion to find Jesus black, but the original Jews were black. The Jews black. So if you do Jesus black, but they'll just say you are blaspheming. If you go to a Roman Catholic church, as a white person, but let the fundisa white because tina hlezi like even we-history, I'm sure hlezi silele silwa sodwa instead of ukuthi silwe siyindawonye sihlangane, you know, silwisana nama enemies ethu but isikhetha ukulwa sodwa. So ngaleyo ndlela the enemy will write our history ngendlela ayicabanga ngayo, yabo, bese distorta i-history yethu, you know, and then
victims
sifunda history distorted, yabo. So yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
boy. Yeah. Nah, we'll have more of this for sure, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, boy.
All right, man.
Yeah.